Hello and welcome to the Complete Hire Equipment WRFL Round 15 preview. Andrew Wilson along with PEPPE Cavalieri. As always, welcome PEPPE.
Hello Willow.
Let's start with Rams Division 1, Albion taking on Spotswood.
Yeah, should be a pretty easy one for us, Willow. I think Spotty should get the job done. Good win last week against Sunshine, obviously, to pretty much sew up their spots and more than likely kill Sunshine. So the Roos, it doesn't look like they'll be taking part in September action this season, but Spotswood should be too strong against Albion this weekend.
Yeah, agree with that one. Caroline Springs take on Altona. You think Altona will be too strong?
Yeah, I would think so. Altona just trucking along nicely, and still, every game's important, and they've got to make sure they win them to get the double chance, because they're a bit scratchy last week against St Albans. Only just got the job done, but 4 points are all that matters this time of year.
Hoppers Crossing looking to keep their double chance hopes alive. They're taking on Sunshine.
Yeah, fourth at the moment, so percentage isn't helping them at the moment, Hoppers Crossing. Maybe they can get some this week against an undermanned Sunshine, but who knows? I mean, they're a good enough side. If they get the double chance, they can do some damage. Hoppers, they just got to keep winning. That's the formula.
Yep. I agree, Hoppers to win that one. And St Albans take on Deer Park. You think this will be pretty one-sided?
Yeah, I think Deer Park, they're sitting on top. They're right where they want to be, Willow, at the end of the year. Let's hope they can stay there for their sake.
And the team that was on top after last week, they dropped to third, take on Wyndham Vale. They need to bounce back Werribee Districts again, trying to hold off Hoppers Crossing for that double chance.
Yeah, a couple of, I suppose, disappointing draws, you could say, Willow, against good teams. Sunshine earlier in the year and Hoppers last week. But those 4 points that they've dropped could come back to bite them if they do finish outside the 3. No danger of dropping outside the 5, though, as Chris Gillum alluded to last week. That's the most important thing, the primary goal. But they should get the job done this week.
Yeah, I agree. That's Rams Division 1 now. Division 2, North FOOTSCRAY taking on Yarraville Seddon. North FOOTSCRAY well beaten last time these two sides met.
Yeah, they were, and I want to give a better account of themselves this week. I mean, the margin was interesting last time. It was massive. Yeah. But North FOOTSCRAY, they weren't horrible in the first half. They just couldn't put any score on the board. They need to do that first up this time, or they get blown away again. Their form hasn't been crash hot the last few weeks either. I think Yarraville Seddon a win, but I think it's important for North FOOTSCRAY's confidence going into the finals that they put in a good performance against a good opposition. But the Eagles for me. Yeah,
agree. Parkside gave up a 31-point lead last week to Newport Power. They take on Auburn Vale, but Parkside got the job done in the end, so fantastic performance by them, and they now sit a game clear in 4th spot. How do you think they'll go this week against Auburn Vale?
I think they'll win, and they've put themselves in a position now, Willow, where they control their own destiny. They keep winning, and they'll make the finals. So you'd think you'd be able to pencil a win up in against Auburn Vale, but they can't afford to get off to another slow start and hope that they can come back again. So interesting to see how they go in the early stages this week, but I think they should be able to win.
After a couple of good weeks, West FOOTSCRAY got beat last week handily. They take on Newport Power, who would have been disappointed with their second half last week, and they really need to win this to keep their finals hopes alive.
They do, and at home you give them a good chance against Newport. I just think too much to play for the Powers side of things, and they're too good a team. We saw it last week. They were excellent in the first half, and for Patches again in the third, it was just Parkside just got on top and got the game on their terms. But they should have too much quality, Newport, to drop this one, and they really can't afford to. Yeah,
Power for me as well. And Point Cook, back to some form, take on Manor Lakes, who need to keep winning too to keep their finals hopes alive. It's such a tight race there for that 4th spot in Division 2 this year.
It is, and with Parkside likely winning this week, and Manor Lakes, it's really must win for them at the moment. Otherwise, they're going to have to make up a fair bit of ground over the last 3 rounds after this weekend if they can't win. Point Cook, though, are just at home, and they haven't quite discovered their best football of late, and I think they need to, especially with a top 2 spot on the line as well. I think they should be able to beat Manor Lakes.
Yeah, I think it'll be a comfortable win for Point Cook. Now, Division 3, Braybrook had a fantastic win 2 weeks ago against Wyndham, lost last week. They'll be pretty disappointed. They'll be looking to bounce back against Sunshine Heights, who are a very slim chance of making finals still in Division 3, so it's a must-win for Braybrook.
It really is. They're 3 games clear at the moment, Willow. Even if they do lose this weekend, I don't think Sunny Heights can make the 4, given their run home is tricky. They're going to have to win everything and hope Braybrook loses everything. That's the only way that it can happen. I think it's a big game for Braybrook, though. I mean, 2 weeks ago, they beat Wyndham Suns. We were incredibly impressed with their heart and their effort and their endeavour. But then to lose again to Point Cook Centrals by 100 points for the second time this season, I think it just puts a little question mark over what they're capable of, especially given they're going to have to play the Sharks in all likelihood first week of the finals. So the Brookers, big game. They need a win just for their confidence, I think, more so than their finals hopes.
Yeah, Brookers for me. Glenorden, who were fantastic last week, almost knocked off Wyndham. They take on Point Cook Centrals, who have returned to some form.
Yeah, really good. Excuse me, really good result last week for Glenorden. I mean, they didn't get the 4 points, but they pushed the top side, Wyndham Suns, all the way. And we spoke to Phil Creer last week on radio as well, and he alluded to the fact that their good football is decent and they've got high hopes. So we saw a glimpse of that last week against the Suns. Can they do it again against the Sharks this week? I'm not so sure, but it'd be really interesting to see what sort of performance they put in, but I'll be tipping Point Cook Centrals.
Yeah, Sharks for me as well. Laverton, North Sunshine, huge game here. Bottom spot still up for grabs.
Yeah, I suppose no one wants to finish on bottom, Willow, and it's up for grabs at the moment. Laverton, North Sunshine, Glenorden, all a chance of still finishing 8th in Division 3. I think Laverton are too strong, though, this week.
Yeah, I'm going to go Laverton as well. And the final game is Wyndham Suns taking on Tarneit. This is our match of the day on 88.9 Win FM. Wyndham 2-0 this year against the Titans. It's going to be a cracking match. Very much looking forward to it. How do you see this one pan out?
I don't know. It's a real toss of the coin. I mean, I think 12 points and 6 points, or even 1 point the two margins earlier in the season. So not a lot separating these two teams coming into this game. I think form-wise, Tarneit has to start favourites, just recent form. And certainly, based on last week's, Wyndham Suns are not overly convincing at all against the bottom side. So I'm going to go with Tarneit. Really looking forward to getting a look at them for the first time as well. Yeah,
Titans for me just been playing the better football the past few weeks. All right, this has been the complete hire equipment round 15 WRFL preview.